Direct transfer of a file between two computers on the Internet. I'm looking for a simple but direct way to transfer a file of any kind and any size between two people. If possible, having only a web browser, without having the file stored on a third machine meanwhile. I wish to do it without requiring the end users to connect to a third server, because that way the data will flow through the machine, xyz.com, possibly slowing down the transfer and posing security risks. I would like to avoid setting up a whole FTP server just for occasional file transfers. So far I have discovered JetBytes, Click2 Copy and PipeBytes. Those web services should make the transfer easy. However, the traffic goes through their servers, so they are no good to what I want. I want the transfer to be direct between the client and me. Encryption would be a nice additional feature. I know that doing so I have to open one port on my computer and configure a bit port redirection on my router. However, NAT traversal would be nice addition, too. My question is there a simple way for one single end-to-end direct file transfer between two computers, avoiding third parties? If possible, with encryption and NAT traversal.
The dirtiest way if you use Nix is to use Netcat, North Carolina, to cat the file to the remote host. But if you want encryption, you might as well use SCP/SSH. You have to realize that if either party is behind a NAT and you don't want to set up port forwarding, then it's impossible to make a direct connection without connecting to a third-party server first. The server does not necessarily have to relay the traffic, see this URL, and most of them don't as bandwidth is costly. For example, Skype will try to use many NAT traversal methods to establish a direct connection before falling back to relaying traffic through their supernodes. Skype is a very peer-to-peer network. As for the account problem, I guess it's unavoidable. All methods will require some kind of configuration or setup, which are usually harder than registering an account.
Webkit-based solutions give what you need, in perhaps the simplest form. You do connect to a third-party website, but that is only for getting the peers connected and not the file transfer part. Example services. This URL. This URL. Edit. I understand this does not meet all the requirements of the OP, but there is another, very usable solution, Firefox Send. Using this, you upload your file to a third-party server in an encrypted form. The service gives you a URL, which you can share with others. The URL also contains the key to decrypt the file. They can then download the file. The file is automatically deleted after a set number of downloads or after 24 hours. The server never sees the key and so cannot decrypt the file. The advantage in using a third-party server is that the sharing party and the downloading party do not need to be online simultaneously.
Magic Wormhole can be used for this. On Ubuntu you can install via apt-get, it is also available via Python pip. To send a file you simply tell what to send. This will output the command line you should run on the receiving end. This includes a secret key, which is such that you can also read it over the phone. You don't specify any machine names or IP addresses. Wormhole establishes the connection automatically and encrypts the files to be transferred. This URL.
You can sync files between remote computers using rsync. This utility is available for Windows and Cygwin, or you can install it with the prepackaged rsync. I'll leave my previous answer here intact, but given recent revelations about the NSA, I would no longer recommend Skype for secure file transfers. You can send a file directly to another person using Skype. Skype sometimes even works when both users are behind NAT. If you are savvy enough to open a port on your router, doing so will increase the likelihood of negotiating a direct connection. More broadly, many chat programs include a file sharing/sending mechanism. Most don't supply encryption by default like Skype. But as long as you and your recipient have the same chat client, you have a simple tool for sharing files.
No.